The best thing in now, ain't nowhere to hide, ain't nowhere to go, put away my fire, top of the low, even when I'm high, ain't nowhere to live, do I wanna die? I don't know. I don't know. Best thing in now, ain't nowhere to hide, ain't nowhere to go, put away my fire, top of the low, even when I'm high, ain't nowhere to live, do I wanna die? I don't know. I don't know. Best thing now, now. How y'all doing today? Going down. What's that? Never been a 17 with a pocket full of hope, swimming down in a dream. Heaven, get caught up in it. You ever served a fiend with a pocket full of smoke, but you probably shouldn't know when your body hit the floor. Gotta hit the bullflex, get my way up on the block, keep watch for the cops. 3 hops in the cop, like a part-time job. 4 part-time jobs on my way come again. Eyes rolling up with tears, thinking about my niggas dead in the dirt and water lies on the shark. Real niggas don't die. How y'all doing today? Real niggas don't die. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. I forgot to pin my, or is it on there? Have you ever seen this big good crack on the spoon? Have you ever seen a nigga that was black on the moon? Welcome in, welcome in. I had to get off the live earlier because my phone was tripping and it kept freezing me. So the connection says good now. So if y'all can hear me, please let me know that you can hear me. Put a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever you want in the comments, and let me know that you can hear me. Today I'm going to be speaking directly to women in regards to how to understand what your intuition is, how to use your body to heal yourself. I'm really going to be telling y'all what I did because I get a lot of questions about how do you do what you do, what it is that I actually do, and what it is that I am teaching other women to do. And really, to be quite honest, what I am teaching women to do is to understand who they are in the eyes of the Most High. That is how you're going to heal. Is it by asking the right questions, not running from your truth, being accountable, not asking just to ask, but knowing that you're asking this question because you're going to do something about it. Being true to yourself and speaking from your spirit when you're speaking to the Most High, because prayer and meditation actually works. Okay? So I'm going to give, there was a few people that was in here. Let me share it to them again. So yeah, first I'm gonna say this. My name's Eli. I would say that I am a demon slayer. In layman's terms, I'm a demon slayer. Is how I see it. I help women break. I help women use their spirit to get rid of soul ties, stagnant energy in their womb, through prayer, meditation, and dance rituals. Okay. I also teach sacred sexuality. Um, I ain't gonna get too much into that simply because y'all be going off on tangents when I start talking about sex, and y'all love to piss me off. But um, teach women how to use their body to heal. And what I'm going to talk about today is why it is important that you are intentional when it comes to healing, because there's so many tools out there that people tell you you can use. You can use herbs. Um, you can use crystals. You can use um, sound bowls. You can use all these different things. You can use tarot cards. You know, they have so many things that they tell people that they can use, but it's very rare, and I could be wrong, but it's rare that I hear people teaching women how to use their own bodies to heal themselves, how to use the spirit that God put inside of them to heal themselves. I use tools. I have tools, but the tools don't work if you don't. And that's just what it is. You can have all the spiritual tools in the world. You can order 15,000 goddamn tarot card decks. You can have every crystal in the damn crystal shop. You can get sound bowls and whatever else you want, Florida water, herbs. You can get any and everything that you want to get, but if you don't work, it won't work. And that's just what it is. You have the power. Okay? You have the power, not the tool. And until people understand that the power lives within them, then they're going to be asked out. And so a lot of people ask me all the time what I did to transform myself in my life, because I look completely different. One, I've lost over, I'll say about 50 pounds. At one point, I had lost over 70 pounds. Okay. I reconstructed my entire life. I did a 35-day water fast, and I asked the right questions. So one, I want y'all to understand that asking the right question is vital when it comes to healing, because if you're not asking the right questions, you're going to be getting the wrong answers, and you're going to constantly be stuck in the same cycle. It is imperative that you ask the right questions at the right time. Okay. Allow your spirit to move in a way where you can stand face to face with the Most High and be honest and authentic, because the problem that y'all be having is that y'all are actually afraid to be yourself in front of God, and God already know. I talk to God like God is my homie, besties. I talk to God just like this. Hey, listen up. Hey, let me talk to you real quick. What's going on here? Something's got to be off. Okay? Tell me what's what. This is how I talk to God. Because at the end of the day, I want to build an authentic relationship with the Most High like I have with myself. If I can't be honest with God and be honest with myself, I can't be honest with anybody. And a lot of people are afraid to be honest in front of God when God already knows. How are you trying to hide something from the Creator who knows everything? It was already written. When God gave you the choice, He knew it. God knew which one you was gonna choose. Like how do you not get in a space where you can be honest? And the problem is you cannot be honest with yourself. We run from the truth. We love to run from the truth and then blame everything on everybody else. Run from the truth and blame everything on everybody else. When the truth of the matter is, if you can take accountability and stand firm in your knowing and in your truth, things begin to shift quickly. Things begin to shift very quickly. Okay? This is why it is important for you to get grounded in your spirit and get grounded in the things that you truly believe and understand. Because things can shift in very, very great ways for you if you ask the right questions. If you ask the right questions and you do the right things when the answers are given to you. Okay? So you can listen, I love crystals. Okay? Love them with my whole heart. I use them all the time. not because they heal me, because I understand that I have the power when it comes to crystals. Yes, they can enhance things, but they're not doing the work. I am. I have to do the work. If I don't do the work, it won't get done. So understand that the tools are there just to help. They are not what they're not what is doing the actual healing itself. The power lives within you. It lives in your hands. When I touch my herbs, I touch my herbs with my bare hands. Okay? I touch my herbs with my bare hands and I pray over them and I speak life into them and I tell them what they're going to do. I don't just take the herbs, put them in, and think they're going to magically do something. Yes, they have healing properties and all these things, but I set my intentions and I use my tools wisely. So, with me asking the right questions, everything that I've ever done in spiritual work has been intuitive. When I am healing the women that I work with, it is intuitive. I touch their bodies and I speak whatever comes out because it is intuitive, because the healing is inside of them. They know what's wrong. So if I touch you and say, oh, there's grief there, you already knew that. If I touch you and say there's shame there, you already knew that. You didn't need me to tell you. You were just afraid of your own truth. And it took an outside source to say something to you about it. But asking the right questions, because the Most High will reveal that to you. And like I said, do not run from your truth. Running from your truth keeps you stuck in a cycle, repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. A lot of women have womb issues because they don't know how to break cycles. A lot of women have womb issues because they do not know how to break cycles. I was the woman who had womb issues because I didn't know how to break the cycle until I broke it. Until one day I sat down and I said, you know what? I gotta be the problem. I have to be the problem, because how is it that I keep encountering this same spirit in a different body with a different face time and time again? Clearly, it's not them. It's me. And when I came to that realization and I took accountability for the fact that I was ignoring things that I should have been paying attention to, I was putting things off to the side that I should have been acting on. I was procrastinating on my own healing when I knew that there was something deeper that I was missing. Okay, so taking accountability is going to be important. It's going to be very important. And also, don't just ask the question just to ask. Knowing is half the battle. Okay, knowing what the problem is, knowing what you're going through, knowing your blockages, knowing that your spirit is not clean is half the battle. What you gonna do about it? We know so goddamn much and don't do nothing. Don't just ask just to know. Ask and then actually do something about it. Okay, a lot of the women that I work with, I teach them dancing meditation. Okay, where we get down on the floor or we stand and we dance and we pray. And we speak directly to the thing that's vexing our spirit. Why do we do that? Because power of a life and death live in the tongue. And a lot of these demons that people carry, all you need to do is tell it to get out. Tell it to get out. Tell it to get out. Plain and simple. It know it ain't even supposed to be there. Do y'all understand that? The demons that live within you know that they have no business being there. Yet you won't cast it out. And if you don't know how to cast it out, you won't find somebody who knows how to help you. I can't tell you how many spirits I've come in contact with that know that they're not supposed to be in a vessel, and yet and still they're there. And the other thing is this. Y'all go to a lot of spiritual practitioners and y'all want us to work these miracles on y'all. And some of the time, we're not allowed to remove them because it's your responsibility. Especially if you know it's there. Especially if you know it's there. Okay? So, accountability, asking the right questions, not running from the truth, taking accountability. Okay? Asking the question, not just for the knowledge of knowing that it's there, but actually doing something about it. Okay? doing something about it. And one of the greatest things that I learned in this journey of healing and even working with other women and teaching them the things that I know is that when you speak from your spirit in prayer, you don't just go into prayer and be like, oh God, I want this, I want that, heal this, heal that. When you actually speak from your spirit, you allow your spirit to lead you in prayer versus just doing what you're taught. Things begin to shift. You begin to notice that it's more than a prayer. It becomes a declaration. It becomes you speaking with authority. You declaring something, not asking. You telling that thing what it's going to do. You telling that thing how it's gonna move. We're not begging. We don't beg. That's not what we do. We don't beg for anything. We speak it and then we act on it. You have authority. You have divine authority. So you don't need to be praying, oh God, could you? God is not your damn servant or your slave. If God created you in the image of the Most High, why are you begging? Why are you begging? What is begging God going to get you? Stop begging and speak like you actually have authority. Believe that you actually have authority and speak like it. Speak whatever it is that is vexing your spirit right on the hell up out of you. When I decided that enough was enough for me, I asked the right questions. I got prostrate, lay flat on my face, and cried, and I spoke everything out of me that was coming up. Did I use tools? Yes, but only to enhance what I was already doing. Things begin to be revealed to me. Your dreams are not coincidences. There's no such thing as deja vu. Okay? These are, y'all be looking for signs and symbols and shit, and they be right in y'all face. They be right in y'all dreams. How many more signs do you need? The other problem is that y'all believe everybody outside of yourself other than yourself. Y'all will sit up and pray for stuff and pray and pray and pray. And God gave you an answer. And because you don't trust yourself and your own intuition, you'll hear somebody online say the exact same thing that God told you, and now all of a sudden it was a divine intervention. God told you the exact same thing. And then be in the comments saying, I had a dream about that. Yeah. It's not a coincidence. Why do you need outside sources to confirm what the Most High already told you? Why do you need outside sources to help you along your healing journey when the Most High has already told you this is what it is? Now, let me say this too. Some people do have trouble. Some people do have trouble hearing from God simply because they have blocked it out. They have blocked themselves from being able to receive, from being able to hear, from being able to operate in their intuition and their discernment simply because of so much trauma and because you have demons tied to you. There is a way to get them off. Okay? There is a way to get them off. But it requires you to go into deep prayer and meditation. I got a question on one of my posts yesterday asking, how do you get rid of soul ties? Fasting and detoxing. It's the same thing as ridding your body of a parasite. A soul tie and a demon is, to me, is like a parasite. It can be expelled from your body with the proper work. Okay. If you can't hear God, you might want to get a little more still. You might want to do a little more meditating and praying. You might want to do a little more releasing, crying. Okay. Did you know that when you cry, you release toxins from your body? A lot of people don't like to cry because it's seen as a weakness or it makes you seem like you're vulnerable. Vulnerability is a superpower, and crying releases toxins from your body. Okay? Crying releases toxins from your body. If you can't hear from the Most High, you might want to get a little more still. You might want to lay down and pray and meditate. and allow your spirit to speak. Allow your body to go through the proper feelings and healing. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. You can't go into this healing situation or journey or whatever people calling it nowadays and think that you're going to rid yourself of your psychological wounds that you've been having since a child by grabbing some crystals and rolling them in your hand, getting a singing bowl and making a little noise, throwing a few tarot cards out and saying, I have the power. It don't work like that. It's not that simple. It actually get real ugly. It actually get real ugly. Okay? You actually, in some instances, removing the dark energy from you requires you to do fasting, which I talked about yesterday. It requires you to look yourself in the mirror and actually, honestly, ask the right questions to yourself as well. Asking God the right questions so the answers can be revealed to you. But when you get in front of yourself in that mirror, is asking yourself the right questions. Asking yourself, how did you get in this place to begin with? Why did you betray yourself? How did you allow shame to bury you in the dirt? Why have you continuously picked the same type of person over and over again, knowing that it was unhealthy for you? Asking the right questions is going to be necessary for yourself as well. And being truthful. A lot of us can't be honest and truthful with ourselves. And then we wonder why we are in the same cycles over and over again. Exactly. Spiritual fetishes and spiritual work is a huge difference between the two. And I feel like when it comes to social media, there's a lot of fetishes. People ain't doing real spiritual work because they make it look too pretty. Ain't nothing pretty about it. There's nothing pretty about it. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Actually, I didn't enjoy it at all. If I'm being honest, I enjoyed the fruits of my labor, but the actual work did not have fun. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. When you get deep into your spiritual journey and you're actually doing the healing work, it is constant. It does not stop. You don't heal in 5 days and then everything is butterflies and rainbows. That healing process is a constant journey that you will go through every single day, because once you know and once you see it, you can't unsee it, and nothing will ever make sense again from what you knew before. And a lot of the problem is that we see the difference and we see the change that needs to be made, but we can't let go of what we used to know. The whole the thing where people say, how do they say it? To unlearn what you learned and relearn as an adult. That is true. That is what spirituality is. It's unlearning the things you were taught as a child and relearning the truth. Because you have been trained and you have been lied to for a very long time. And it's very easy to lie to people. But it's hard to convince them that they've been lied to. But once you put the glasses on and you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. And if you think that you're going to get an easy way out of it, you're not. It's not how it works. I wish it was, because then we all be healed and the world would be a better place. But it's just not that simple. Okay? It's not that simple. So I advise you to get deep into some prayer and meditation and really ask the right questions and take accountability for the answers that you're receiving. Okay? I have had the joy of I've had the joy of working with a number of women. I think the largest group of women that I've worked with have been about 60 women. That was during my sensual healing, but I had a smaller group where we did a spiritual healing class where I taught them how to use their womb and their body to heal themselves. And let me say, the energy that was in the room, and this was virtually, the energy that was in the space was so immaculate that there was telepathy and a number of other things happening. And when you put yourself in a space to receive and to receive from an open and pure heart with the intention to actually let go of the thing that you're seeking to let go of and rid your body of the things that you need to rid your body of, great things can happen. There's no way around it. I'm going to keep saying it throughout this live. The tools are to help you. They are not what actually does the work. You are. They don't work if you don't work. And hearing these women speak after the fact and say exactly what I was saying to them, because when I do my healing work, I do not speak in English. If you know, you know. And to listen to these women repeat to me what I was saying to them and confirming to me, um, what they had been praying for, that was being answered in our dance meditation through the prayers. I went from person to person and I spoke to them directly and guided them back to themselves into understanding when the voice of God is speaking to you. And because they came into that experience with an open mind, an open heart, with pure energy, ready to receive, the room shifted and everybody received some sort of healing that day, but because they were asking the right questions. Before we had the session, I sent them it's like what is it called? A pre-work. And I asked them to write down intentional questions and pray on it before the session. This was sent to them maybe 7 days before the session actually started. Ask these questions, ask intentional questions so that you can get the answers that you need, because my prayer is that when you leave out of this space, that what you need, you receive. When you leave from this space, what you need, you have received. And understand that once you receive this information, you must act on it. Knowing is not enough. It will never be enough. If you ain't gonna do shit about it, don't ask. Because when you ask, you will get the answer. But we must be authentic to ourselves. We must speak truthfully from our spirit. If you're sad, say you sad. Stop acting like you okay. If you're angry, admit that you're angry. Because constantly saying that you're not angry is just making you angrier. Constantly saying that you're not sad only makes you sadder. So last year when my mother passed away, I was so against going to therapy, simply because I'm so deep into spirituality, and I was like, I don't need no goddamn therapist. I'm not going. Okay, it is what it is. And then I reached a point where I almost died because of stress, because I couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that I had to actually watch my mother take her last breath. I physically watched her take her last breath, and that really messed me up mentally, right? And when I finally got into therapy, my therapist kept telling me, "You're angry," and I kept saying, "No, I'm not." She kept saying, "Sarah, you're angry. You are very angry, and you don't recognize that you're angry." And I kept saying, "I'm not angry. I'm okay with the situation. It's just more so me navigating the emotions." Because it was my mom, right? And so maybe a month into having sessions with her and journaling and doing all the things that she was having me do that I knew to do, but it was different this time. Maybe about a month into our sessions, I came back to a session and I told her, "I'm angry." And she laughed so hard. She was like, "I have been waiting on you to admit that to yourself so that you can actually let it go." And when I realized what I was angry about, it wasn't even the fact that I had lost my mother. It had nothing to do with that. It had absolutely nothing to do with my mother. But because I had had anger stored inside of me for so long, her passing made it come up. But I had to ask the right questions. I had to go deep within, look at myself in the mirror, and be honest with myself. What is really happening with you right now? Because A lot of times we can't just go off and go into a healing space and allow ourselves to transform. We need something catastrophic to happen. And that's just being real. We don't really want to do no work until something shake us to our goddamn core. That's when we be like, oh shit, let me get my life together. Let me figure out what's going on. I have been there several times, and the latest time was my mother. And that shit shook me to my core. Literally, physically, emotionally, mentally. It had me back in a space that I recognized, but it was different. Be honest with yourself. Stop holding on to things that you know don't serve you because it's harming you. It's harming your womb. It's blocking your intuition. It's clouding your discernment and your judgment. It's making you betray yourself. It's making you not trust yourself. It's causing you to continue in cycles that you know are unhealthy for you, even though you have been told time and time again to stop. But because you don't have enough faith in yourself, you don't have enough faith in God, you will not do it. You will not do it. But we'll pray to God and as like God's our servant. God's our slave. Constantly asking, can you? Hell no. Not until you do the thing that I've been telling you to do. Not until you answer the questions that you need to answer. Not until you face the things that you need to face. I'm not doing anything. That's how God be feeling. And at some point, if you don't do it yourself, God will push you. If you don't ask the questions, He gonna make you ask them. So being honest with yourself and asking the right questions is going to be vital. I can't say it enough. I cannot say it enough. We can't keep repeating the same cycles in 2026. In the numerical year of 2026, if you're not doing the work to heal yourself, then you just don't want to, plain and simple. If you're not actually doing what's necessary to heal yourself, then you just don't want to. You want to be stuck in the cycle. And it's about to get real crazy come 2026. Real crazy. And I mean that in the best and worst ways. So much is happening in the medical industry that y'all going to be seeking out holistic healing practitioners because you're going to need them. If you ain't creating an apothecary, I advise you figure it out now. Figure it out right now. If you don't know where to start, find some people. Get on TikTok and look up. You need to figure it out because it's going to be necessary for you to have the proper tools that you need and also have the clarity and be at the frequency in which you need to be in so that you may do the proper work for yourself and your family, especially if you got kids. If you have kids and you are still blocked mentally, spiritually, and emotionally by trauma that happened eons ago in your life from a child up until now, and you haven't took any action on fixing that, you're going to be in a world of trouble. Because when stuff start hitting the fan, you ain't gonna know what to believe. Because you can't hear from the Most High because you're blocked and you're clouded. Okay, so that's really all I had to say today. This was a really short live, well, maybe about 45 minutes. So short lives, but those are the things that I want you all to understand and to begin to live by, and especially if you're looking to heal naturally. You cannot heal your body naturally if you don't get to the root of the issue, and the root of that issue lives in your spirit. Them demons that are attached to you that know they ain't supposed to be there are simply waiting on you to speak them out. Tell them to go. You're holding on to them because they're familiar. You don't need them. You do not need them. They serve you no purpose. They're actually harming you. They're creating the endometriosis. They're causing the fibroids. They're making your uterus feel heavier than it should be. It's sucking the blood out of you. We have to do better. when it comes to taking accountability, asking the right questions, and actually doing the work. Because it's fun to say that you're a spiritualist and you do spiritual work, but it's hard to actually do it. It's hard to actually do it. It's not easy. And I'm never gonna get on here and tell y'all that it's easy. Ever. Because it's not. It's probably one of the hardest things I've had to do. And to constantly have to do it. And let me say this too, another thing. When you pray for wisdom, expect some lessons to come. That's another thing. We be praying for things and we think that it's going to show up a certain way, not realizing that in order to attain wisdom, wisdom is through lived experiences. In order to attain wisdom, there has to be a lesson in order for you to gain the wisdom. You don't just get wisdom because it's something to have. When you pray for wisdom, you receive lessons. When you pray for answers, you have to be shown what it is that you're seeking the answer for. That is where the test comes in. When people say there's no testimony without a test, that's what that's about. It's how you pray for what you're asking for. The way you pray for it is how it's going to show up. Be intentional and be impeccable with your words. Say what you mean what you say. Anything else is gonna make you feel like things are not going the way you feel they should go, and a lot of times they're not, because a lot of our plans fail, but the Most High always prevails. Always. Our plans fail, but the Most High always prevail. So, like I said, ask the right questions. Ask the right questions. Okay, that is all I want to talk about. I'm going to give y'all these last points again before I get off of here in case you missed them. So the first point is to ask the right questions. The second one, do not run from your truth. Third, take accountability and be accountable for the things that you have gone through and the things that you continue to go through in your life. That way you can actually stop it. Okay, do not ask just to know. Ask and actually do something about it. Okay. Once you know, it is your responsibility to do something about it. Okay? Be yourself and speak from your spirit when you're speaking to God. Don't go into prayer talking like they taught you to talk in the church or the way you watched your grandma pray. No, talk to God like y'all got a real relationship. I talk to God like I talk to my best friend. Literally. Okay? Prayer and meditation is going to be your friend. Prayer and meditation is going to be your friend. You can't have one without the other. When you pray, you need to meditate. When you meditate, you need to pray. Because that's where you're going to get your answers. Prayer, meditation. Pray about it and just sit still and allow the answer to come to you because it's already within you. The tools will not work unless you work. I don't care how many crystals, how many tarot cards you have, how many singing bowls you have, how many herbs you have. The tools will not work unless you work. Okay? I'm not going to take any questions today because I have something to do. But I appreciate y'all for the likes, the comments, and the joins. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. And Happy New Year.